Hello, Nari McDiarmid for miningnews.net, and it's great to be speaking with Bruce Lane, Executive Director of GTI Energy. And Bruce, before we get into the details of your key project, can you start by describing the company to a potential investor?
GTI is a uranium explorer. We're listed in Australia on the ASX under the code GTR, and we also have we're cross trading on the OTC under the symbol GTRIF in the US. Our projects are based in Wyoming in the US. We also have some projects in Utah, but our focus is our Wyoming projects. And the unique thing about those projects are that they are in situ recovery uranium projects. The company has resources, combined inferred resources of 7.1 million pounds, and that's spread across two projects, our Great Divide Basin projects, and principally our Thor project within that group. And then add our lead project, or our flagship project, which is the Lo Herma project in Wyoming's Powder River Basin.
Well, can we take a closer look at Lo Herma, Bruce? What are the highlights of this flagship project?
Yeah, Lo Herma came to us at the end of 2022. We were able to secure a very significant database of 1,770 drill holes, and 880 of those pertain to the properties that we were then able to go out and stake. We think that the replacement value for generating that database would be well in excess of $10 million and probably have taken us 3 years. So it's given us a very, very good head start in publishing a resource based on that data. So what we've done recently with that project is run a drill program at the end of 2023, 26 holes, so quite modest, but the intention was to verify the database and just be sure that those bits of paper, those drill logs from the 1970s, were able to translate, and we could confidently stand behind the resource. And so the good thing is that was achieved. And we also wanted to test some of our exploration hypotheses. So we knew there was mineralization along trend, so we were able to test the extent of some of that, but also we were looking at depth in the lower Wasatch Formation, which is the primary formation where the drilling had occurred, and then down below that in the Fort Union Formation, which Cameco produces from around 10 miles to our east.
Bruce, what would you like people to understand about the management team at GTI?
We've got a good mix of some people in Australia who have very, very good commercial experience and listed company experience and minerals experience. But what we're always looking for is a bit more on the ground grunt, if you like, in the US. And so we've got Jim Boffman there, who's got a long history in the US uranium mining sector in Wyoming and Colorado. But we also have secured the services of Matt Hartmann, and Matt joined us in January. We'd worked with Matt previously, but he has in situ recovery experience, both as a uranium experience, both as a geologist and an engineer. He's worked on the Smith Highland Ranch project at Cameco. He's worked on Laramine's Church Rock project and on Alta Mesa's Rosetta plant. He's also worked for SRK and recently Wyoming's largest landholder, Sweetwater Royalty. So he brings a really good mix of technical and commercial experience, and he's been installed as our president of operations in the US. So he's been the big change to the management team, and he's really adding a lot of value already in terms of executing our programs and getting conversations going in the industry with our neighbours in the US.
Well, speaking of getting programs going, Bruce, what's GTI's focus in 2024?
Our focus is very firmly on our Lo Herma project, and we've got a drilling program coming up, which we're in the final stages of permitting. We're looking to extend and upgrade our resource. So the drilling will start in Q3 of this year, so likely in July. And then we'll look to upgrade our resource in Q4. And as I said before, that's to increase the scale of the resource up beyond that 5.71 million pounds, but also to bring some of that resource into indicated category. And so we really look forward to that at the back end of the year. We are permitting a drill program at our Green Mountain project, so that'll give us the option to drill there in the middle of the year if things all go according to plan. And we're funded for that. And the other thing we're doing is reviewing our Utah projects. There's a lot of activity happening down in the Colorado Plateau with Energy Fuels, Anfield, and Western Uranium Vanadium. So there's a lot of movement there, and we think those projects now deserve some further attention. So we're looking at the options for how we might move those projects forward in the future as well.
Well, Bruce, for anyone looking for some exposure to uranium stocks, why invest in GTI?
Yeah, that is a really good question. And my answer to that is that the US currently buys around 50 million pounds of uranium a year and has, according to formal statistics, last year only produced 50,000 pounds. So the industry really has not been responding at all to the needs of the nuclear power providers. And so they've been importing the uranium from offshore, a lot of which comes from Kazakhstan and Russian aligned countries. So that is changing though as we speak. UR Energy is in production in our 10 or 15 miles away from us in the Great Divide Basin. We've got Peninsula due to be in production at the end of this year. UEC said they're going to start again in August, 40 miles up the road. So the industry in the US is responding, and the reason that it's responding is because uranium prices mean that the projects that are very similar to the project that we're trying to move forward with are profitable at the prices that are now available in the market, and that is around at least sort of $70, $75. The price is higher than that, but we believe these projects have a real future in this cycle. We believe the permitting and development cycle is going to be reasonably fast by comparison, particularly to the larger projects in the Athabasca Basin and elsewhere in the world. And we think that the time is now for these projects to be moved forward. So that's the pitch.
Well, you summed it up well, Bruce. Thank you very much for your time today.
All right. Thanks, Nari.